Well, Buderim's got such a rich past and history, and some of the characters that make it up are just amazing. And I've got the privilege of sitting with Michael Pugh today. Michael, thanks very much for sitting with us and giving us some insights into what you do here and some of the history that you've been part of. So can you tell us a little bit about when you came to Buderim? And you weren't always in pottery and doing art and doing what you do now. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. I was born in Sydney, went to school in Newcastle. I left school at 15. I worked in advertising and publishing for 10 years. In the latter part I was in London working, and I left my job in 1970 and came to Buderim.
Yeah.
I was with my brother-in-law and we were making Mexican sandals, and then I moved into making leather bags, and I was fortunate that I met Jean Cameron, the lady who was running the craft cottage in Buderim, and I got talking to her and she said, if you're interested, come around and have a go on the wheel. I went around the next day and had a go on the wheel, and I was hooked, and I began pottery at that time here in Lindsay Road.
And you mined your own clay. Look, that's when we were talking just before. You said you actually down at Rocky Creek, down the bottom down there, you went and actually got the clays, and there was a couple of different types of clays that you were bringing up and working with.
Yeah. There was a white clay and there's a red clay.
So Michael, what is it that inspires you to create the pieces that you create? You've got a very distinctive style, and I know a lot of people, you've almost got like a cult following of people that know you here on Buderim. What is it that inspires you and lets you create the pieces that you create?
I was attracted to the ceramics, Persian ceramics and the glassware, and I guess that was like a seed or something that was developing in my mind, but not consciously thinking about that. And then my wife was very interested in pottery and was doing pottery at that time, and we had a lot of books.
Yep.
And I started reading all the books, I guess, and that was sort of there lying in wait. And when I came here and then met Jean Cameron, it kind of came together. And then all my influences were from the books were mainly Asian, Korea, China, Japan, those three influences. And they all had philosophies and they had stories about studio potters back in the 16th, 17th century. And I guess all that accumulated in me. And then working sometimes in Asia, those influences were there as well. So I guess the influence that I have gathered is what it is today. So I guess the influences are very much from nature as well.
And so we see a lot of lotus coming through in the designs and things you do. One of the things that I think that I know you very well for is your bowls, but it's not just bowls. You've got the lamps now, the teapots. What other different, and these are all very functional things that you do. What else do you actually create?
I have been spending a bit more time on blossom jars, the sort of like that.
Yes.
It's challenging because I find the profile shape is sort of, you're moving that line all the time, and until there's nothing to say, oh, that's right, but all of a sudden it feels right.
Yes.
And that's what you go by.
One of the things I really like about your products is no two are alike.
Yeah.
And like everything's unique. Like you buy one piece and you know nobody else is going to have that through there. How does that make you feel when you're going through?
It's good because I didn't have a training or a background of production pottery. So therefore I wasn't restricted to like to do everything the same, and I've always enjoyed that because I found there's a difference when you're sitting at the wheel. If you have sizes in your head, it seems to be in front of the other, but if you're just sitting at the wheel and throw the clay down and just go with it, it's different.
Yes, yes, but that's one of the things that's exciting. When you come in here and you buy this, this is art. That you can buy something that nobody else in the world will have, and yeah, I think that's really special. So the name Michael Pugh is synonymous with Buderim, and anybody that's been around in Buderim for any time knows your pieces and knows the artwork that is Michael Pugh. But for those people that don't, and there might be a lot of people that are watching this for the first time, they're going, far out, where do we actually go and see this stuff, and where do we come? Now you're on Lindsay Road and you're tucked away, and you're just a little hidden gem in here. How do people come and see you, Michael?
We have made a day now on Saturday, an open day. Anyone can come, call in without making an appointment. For the rest of the week, it works better if people just give us a call.
Yes.
And make sure we're here.
Yeah.
But Saturday it's open, and we're here all day.
And it is.
If anyone wants to call.
And it is an amazing little place. Like you come down off Lindsay Road, so it's at 122 Lindsay Road, and you come in and it's in the rainforest here, and it is where Michael works. You get to go through and you get to see some of the products, which you'll see in a second, and yeah, it's certainly an experience by itself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
I think one of the exciting things that we were just talking about was that the legacy's now continuing. So we've got Michael Pugh, and then you've got your daughter Shelley now that's coming into the business, and she's following in your footsteps. So that's exciting.
Yes. No, Shell went to art school in Melbourne, and then came back up here, and started doing pottery in the studio here. And because we've got so much room, it was I felt so good that someone else could use this as well. But Shelley has developed her own style. I think that if people are able to express themselves in their own way without being too overqualified by teaching,
yes,
they can bring out things that are more interesting and interesting to other people.
Well, that was certainly interesting, and a real honour to sit with Michael Pugh and find out a little bit more about his ethos and the way he does things. You've just got to come down and check out his gallery here from his home. So that's 221 Lindsay Road. Give him a call, we'll put his details down the bottom for you. Until next time, thanks very much.